Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss about a lesson entitled The Dear Departed by Stanley Horton. Actually, what is the meaning of this lesson? The dear departed, that is, the someone, beloved one in our family or someone our beloved one. He or she got departed. Okay? All of you open your textbook. Page number 60, you are going to have this lesson. So, The Dear Departed by Stanley Horton. Before going into the story, let me give introduction of this author, Stanley Horton. Look at this introduction of this author. William Stanley Horton was a famous English playwright, best known for his play Hindle Wakes. He was a leading figure of the Manchester School, which was an arts group comprised of a number of prominent playwrights in England, who were supported and encouraged by the theatre owner Anne Horniman. At the time, Horton's plays were famous for their remarkable dialogue and cutting social commentary. Look at here. He was a famous English playwright, and he's known for his play Hindle Wakes. He was a leading figure of the Manchester School, actually the art school, composed of number of prominent playwrights. Among them, he was a leading person. And he was supported and encouraged by the theatre owner Anne Horniman. Okay, at that time, his plays were famous for their remarkable dialogue and cutting social commentary. There was used to be some, look at here, cutting social commentary. His plays were famous for their remarkable dialogue and cutting social commentary. Look at here. The Dear Departed is a comedy based on a short story by French writer Guy de Maupassant. Okay. Actually, this story, The Dear Departed, that story is based on a short story which was written by French writer. It is set in Lancashire and depicts the idea that the death of a family member can be accompanied not just by grief, but by greed and desire to maintain appearance. Actually, here in this story, The Dead Departed, the story was saying that if someone or a family member, if our family member, if he or she dies, so naturally there is going to be a lot of sorrow. Apart from that, even a greed. What is that? Greedy for money. So here in this story, he had shown that the story, the deed departed, in this story, there was a greed, okay, and a desire to maintain appearance. So actually here, this story had an idea that the death of a family member, okay, somebody died in a family. So apart from their grief, even they had a greed of money, okay. Now, let me go to the story. Then we are going to understand what is a greed. Greed of money. Okay. Apart from grief, they want money. Okay. They were very much interested in money matter. Okay. Okay. Let me go to these characters. So what are the characters in the story? Mrs. Amelia Slater. Who is she? She is daughter of Abel Mary Weathers. Okay. Next, Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. Who is she? Amelia's sister. So this Amelia and Elizabeth. These two, both of these are sisters. Okay. In short, Mrs. Slater, Mrs. Jordan. So Slater, it's her husband name. Jordan, Elizabeth husband's name. Okay. Look at here, Henry Slater, Amelia's husband. Ben Jordan, Elizabeth's husband name. Victoria, who is she? She is daughter of Henry and Amelia. Okay? She's a 10-year-old lady, girl. Next, Abel Mary Weather. So head of the family, father of Amelia and Elizabeth's sisters. Okay. So actually the story, the dear departed here, actually this Abel Mary Weather, actually their father had got departed. They thought that her father got departed, but it's not true. Okay, let me go through the story. They thought that their father had departed, so they thought to have Mary Weather's property to take. They had a dispute. Both these two sisters had a dispute because of money. Both of them, they quarreled for their father's money, as they thought that their father was departed. But here, look at here, it's a greed of, they have a greedy. Okay, they want a money, their father's money. So they thought that something happened to our father, and now it's right time to take out the property. Okay, that's the story, introduction of the story. Okay, now let me go to the story. Dialogues in the story. Actually, it's a and the action takes place in the sitting room of a small house in a lower middle class district of a provincial town. It's one act play, so here action takes place in the sitting room of a small house. Okay. Now, when the curtain rises, Mrs. Latter is seen laying the table. She is vigorous, plump, red-faced vulgar woman, prepared to do any amount of straight talking to get her own way. She is in black, but not in complete mourning. What's the meaning of this? If someone dies, if someone dies, they are going to have a face of something. It's a sorrow face, and they are going to wear some black colored dress. She is in black, but not in complete mourning. What is this? Mourning. Here R is silent. Look at here. Here R is silent. She listens a moment and then goes to the window, opens it and calls into the street. Look at here. Mrs. Slater, that is Lady Amelia. Okay. Victoria, who is she? Her daughter. Victoria, Victoria. So she was calling her daughter. Come in. Will you? Mrs. Slater closes the windows and puts the blind straight and then returns to her work at the table. Victoria, a precious girl of 10, dressed in colors, enters. So Mrs. Slater was calling her daughter, Victoria, Victoria, come in. She was doing her work. She opened the window and called her daughter to come in. And then she returned back to her work. She returned to her work. And then returned to her work. Mrs. Slater. So Victoria wore colored dressed. She wore colored dress. Mrs. Slater. I am amazed at you. Victoria, I really am. How you can be? Look at here. Gallivanting about in the street with your grandfather, lying dead and cold upstairs. Look at here. She was saying to her daughter, why are you in the street as your grandfather? So she was thinking that her father was got departed. So she was saying to her daughter, come in, don't roam in the streets. I don't know. She was saying, I don't know. Be off now and change your dress before Aunt Elizabeth and your Uncle Ben come. It would never do for them to find you in colors. She was saying to her daughter, go and change your dress as your Aunt Elizabeth. Who is she? Her mother's sister, Elizabeth, and Uncle Ben. Okay? Go and change. So Victoria's mother, Mrs. Slater, was saying, yes, Victoria, go and change your dress. Victoria, what are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages. Victoria was asking her mother, why are they coming to our house? Okay? Then Mrs. Slater was saying, they are coming to talk over poor grandpa's affairs. She was saying, they were coming to talk about your grandpa's affairs. Your father sent them a telegram as soon as we found he was dead. Good gracious, that's never them. Look at here. So she was saying to her daughter Victoria, what happened? Victoria was asking her mother, Mom, what happened? Why Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle both are coming to our house? Then she was saying that they are coming to talk over your poor grandpa's affairs. As your father had sent a telegram as soon as we found your grandfather was dead. Look at here. Mrs. Slater hurries to the door and opens it. So while these two, they were talking to each other. She heard somebody knock the door. So Mrs. Slater hurries to the door and opens it. No, no, thank goodness. She was saying, how? Thank God, it's your father. Actually, they were waiting for Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle. So she thought that Mrs. Slater, she thought that it's her sister Elizabeth, but it's her husband has come into the house. Henry Slater, that is Mrs. Slater's husband, a stooping, heavy man with a drooping mustache, enters. He enters. He is wearing a black tailcoat, grey trousers, a black tie, and a bowler hat. He carries a little paper parcel. Look at here. So, Henry Slater, he wore black tailcoat, grey trousers. So, here they described, here lines were describing about Henry's latter dressing style. Okay, next. And his body language, etc. Now coming to Henry. Not come yet. Hey, he was asking his wife, Henry, where are Elizabeth and Ben? So Mrs. Slater was saying, no, you can see they haven't caught you. So Mrs. Slater was saying, no, they did not come. If 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 they are here, can't you see them? Now, Victoria, be off upstairs and that quick. Put your white frock on with a black sash. Okay, she was saying. Mrs. Latter was saying to her daughter to change her dress. Put your white frock on with a black sash. Okay. Mrs. Latter to Henry. She was talking Henry. I'm not satisfied, but it's the best we can do till our new black's ready. And Ben and Elizabeth will never have thought about mourning yet. So we will outshine them there. Okay, she was saying, Mrs. Latter was saying, I'm not satisfied, but it's the best we can do till our new black's ready. Actually, it's a black dress. Actually, they have to wear a black dress. Okay, if someone got departed, it's a rule. They have to wear such type of dress. So she was saying that. Get your boots off, Henry. Elizabeth's that prying. She notices the least speck of dirt. Henry, look at here. I am wondering if they will come at all, he was saying. I am wondering. When you and Elizabeth quarreled, she said she would never have set foot in your house again. Henry was saying, when you and Elizabeth, actually they had a quarrel. Okay, both sisters had some fight, some discussion about their affairs. So he was asking. Mrs. Latter's husband was asking when you and Elizabeth quarreled, and Elizabeth said that she wanna come to their house, but today she's about to come to their house. Okay, previously Elizabeth said that she would never she is not going to enter their house again. Okay, actually Elizabeth, she said in that way to her sister, Mrs. Latter. She will come fast enough after her share of what grandfather's left. She was saying, now she will come for money, for property purpose. You know how hard she can be when she likes. Where she gets it from, I can't tell. Okay, she was saying that my sister Elizabeth, she wants whatever she likes. She takes whatever she likes. So now it's a dispute of money matter, property. Next, Henry. I suppose it's in the family, so it's common in the family. He was saying, Mrs. Latter, what do you mean by that, Henry Slatter? Mrs. Latter. Here Mrs. Latter was asking, saying to her husband, actually it's a, both Henry and Mrs. Latter, they were talking to each other. Mrs. Latter was saying, what do you mean by that? Henry's Latter. Then Henry was saying, I was referring to your father, not to you. He was saying that I'm not saying anything to you. I was referring to your father. Where are my slippers? He was asking, where are my slippers? Mrs. Latter, in the kitchen. But you want a new pair. Those old ones are near worn out. She was saying they are in the kitchen. Now you want a new pair because the old ones are going to worn out. You don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like I am doing. My heart's fit to break when I see the little trifles that belong to grandfather lying around and think he will never use them again. He was saying that Henry was saying to his wife, that I can't afford a new pair. Here, you would better wear these slippers of grandfather's now. It's lucky he would just got a new pair. Mrs. Latter was saying to her husband, why can't you buy a new pair? Then Henry was saying, no, I can't afford. So then she was saying, okay, you wear slippers of grandfather's. Anyway, they are new. So you wear that slippers instead of your old slippers. Henry, they will be very small for me, my dear. He was saying, they will be very small. Mrs. Latter, they will stretch, won't they? I'm not going to have them wasted. She was saying, Mrs. Latter, okay, they are going to stretch. That slippers will stretch. So no problem, wear it. Don't waste them. Henry, I have been thinking about the bureau of grandfather's that's in his bedroom. Henry actually was thinking about that bureau. What is this actually? It is a table that for drawing purpose. It's a look at here. So he was thinking about this bureau. Actually, it's a grandfather's bureau. Okay, Henry wants that. You know, I always wanted to have it after he died. He was saying to his wife that I want that bureau. Actually, every time I thought to have it after your father's death. Henry, you must arrange with Elizabeth when you are dividing things up. Miss Henry was saying to his wife, okay, it's it's compulsory. You must arrange whatever things you are going to give to Elizabeth because after their father's death, they are going to share the property of their father. So Henry was saying to his wife, compulsory you need to divide the things properly. Because actually Henry was very much interested in this bureau of that grandfather's. Okay? Mrs. Latter, Elizabeth's that sharp, she will see I am after it, and she will drive a hard bargain over it. Else, Mrs. Latter was saying to her husband, my sister Elizabeth, she is very sharp and intelligent. Hey, what it is to have a low money grubbing spirit. So Henry was saying, so he was saying that what it is to have a low money grubbing spirit. So Elizabeth is such type of mentality. She loves money. She have that greed. She's very much greedy girl, greedy lady. Henry, perhaps she's got her eye on the bureau as well. Henry was saying, because Henry likes this bureau. So he was saying to his wife, now, if Elizabeth got her eyes on the bureau, even he was saying that your sister may have eye on this bureau. Even she would like to have, even she would like to take this bureau. Now, look at here. Mrs. Slater. She's never been here since grandfather bought it. If it was only down here instead of in his room, she would never guess it was not our own. He was saying, Mrs. Slater. She's never been here. She was saying to her husband that my sister, she was not here. Okay? If it was only down here, she was saying to her husband, if this bureau, so they were talking about the bureau. Actually, that is in grandfather's bedroom. So Mrs. Slater was saying that my sister don't know about this topic. Okay? Henry. Emilia. He was shouting. He was saying loudly. He was talking loudly. Mrs. Slater. Then Mrs. Slater was saying, Henry, why should not we bring that bureau down here? So Henry got idea. Okay, this bureau is in the upstairs in that bedroom. Okay, now we will bring it down. We could do it before they come. So Mrs. Slater was saying to Henry, okay, we will bring it down. Okay, before my sister enters to our house. Mrs. Slater was saying to her husband, Henry, I would not care to. Mrs. Slater, don't look so daft. Why not? Actually, Henry, initially he did not accept to this, but Mrs. Slater said, we will bring it down. Mrs. Slater, we could put that shabby old chest of drawers upstairs where the bureau is now. She was saying that now we will change the places. Look at here. We could put that shabby old chest of drawers upstairs. Now they wanna shift. They wanna exchange the things where the bureau is now. Elizabeth could have that and welcome. I have always wanted to get rid of it. Okay, they had a plan of exchanging the things from downstairs to upstairs, upstairs to downstairs, vice versa. So they wanna replace this bureau with this old chest of drawers, something old. Henry, suppose they come when we are doing it. Then Henry was saying, okay, when we are doing this thing, exchanging things. So suddenly, if they come to our house, Mrs. Slater, I will fasten the front door. Get your coat off. Henry will change it. Okay, she was saying that. Then, Mrs. Slater, I will run up and move the chairs out of the way. So now they are actually Mrs. Slater and Henry, they are changing that bureau's place. So they are in hurry. Mrs. Slater, I will run up and move the chairs out of the way. Here, Victoria appears dressed according to her mother's instruction. Victoria, will you fasten my frock up the back? Mother, she was asking to her mother, Mom, just fasten my frock. fasten my frock. Then she was saying, Mrs. Slater, I am busy, get your father to do. She said to Victoria, go to your father. So she was in color dress. So according to her mother wish, she changed her dress in that black colored something. That dress, whatever her mother instructed her. So at last she wore it. Actually, first she went to her mother to have a help. Later her mother asked her to go to her father, Henry. Henry was saying, Mother and me. He was saying to his daughter, look at here. Mother and me is going to bring grandfather's bureau down here. He was saying that me and your mother and me, we both are bringing your grandfather's bureau down here. Victoria, are we pinching it before Aunt Elizabeth comes? She was asking that, okay, are we pinching it before Aunt Elizabeth comes? Henry, shocked, no, my child. It's not correct. No, my child. He was talking to Victoria. Grandpa gave it your mother before he died. He said that, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. Actually, Victoria was saying, before my aunt arrives, you wanna change this? She was asking, are we pinching? Then at that time, Henry was shocked and he said that, no, it's not like that, baby. Your grandfather, gave it to your mother before he died. Victoria, this morning? She was asking, this morning? Did he give to my mom? Henry, yes. Victoria, he was drunk this morning. Victoria was saying, he was drunk this morning. Actually, her grandfather was drunk at that time, this morning. Henry, hush, you must not ever say he was drunk now. So Henry was saying, don't say that he was drunk. Okay? Close your mouth, don't say that word. Now, Henry has fastened the frock and Mrs. Slater appears carrying a handsome clock under her arm. Now she was carrying a clock, Mrs. Slater. Mrs. Slater, I thought I would fetch this down as well. She was saying that even she wanna bring that clock down. Our clock's worth nothing and this always appealed to me. Victoria, that's Grandpa's clock. So Mrs. Slater was saying, okay, now we will, to her husband, okay, now we will bring this clock. This clock is very good. It's we will bring this to downstairs. She was talking to her husband. Then Victoria, she was saying, it's Grandpa's clock. She was saying that it is my grandfather's clock. Mrs. Slater, she was saying, shut, be quiet. She was saying to Victoria, don't talk. It's ours now. Now it's ours. Come, Henry, lift your hand. Victoria, don't breathe a word to your aunt about the clock and the bureau. They were saying to their daughter Victoria, don't talk about this clocks matter and bureau matter. Okay, about this in front of your Aunt Elizabeth. Whatever things, clock and bureau, whatever we exchanged right now to downstairs, don't reveal this topic in front of your Aunt Elizabeth. Victoria, I thought we would pinch them. She was saying that I thought we would pinch them. Here, after a short pause, there is a sharp knock at the front door. So, after that, a short pause, They heard that someone knocked their front door. Mrs. Latter from upstairs. Victoria, if that's your aunt and uncle, you're not to open the door. Mrs. Latter was saying to her daughter, Victoria, just if somebody are knocking the door. So Slater, she is in the upstairs. She was saying to her daughter, don't open the door. Okay, if that's your aunt and uncle. Then Victoria peeps through the window. Okay, then she peeped through that window and she saw Victoria, mother, it's them. She was saying to her mother, yes, mother, they are aunt and uncle. Then Mrs. Latter, you are not to open the door till I come down. She was saying, don't open, I'm going to come. Knocking repeated. Let them knock away. She was saying to her daughter, okay, let it be. Let them knock. I will come from upstairs. Mind the wall. Henry. Okay, look at here. Henry and Mrs. Latter, very hot and flushed, stagger in with a pretty, old-fashioned bureau containing a locked desk. They put it whether the chest of drawers was and straighten the ornaments, etc. The knocking is repeated. So they adjusted, they changed everything. They had that. Okay? Because they want bureau. Okay? That Mrs. Latter never, that was a near thing. Open the door, Victoria. So she was saying to her daughter, now you open it. Henry, get your coat on. And she was saying to her husband, go and bring your coat. Henry, did we knock much plaster off the wall? Mrs. Latter, never mind the plaster. Do I look all right? Straightening her hair at the glass. Just watch Elizabeth's face when she sees we are all in half mourning. She was saying to her husband, look at Elizabeth's face. We are in half, we are all in half mourning. Take this and sit down. Try and look as if we had been waiting for them. She was saying to her husband, go and sit down and act as if we are waiting for them. Okay? So, got it? So, tomorrow I'm going to continue the next topic of the story. Continuation of the story. So, what is the name of the story? The Dear Departed. So here, that grandpa, that is Emilia and Elizabeth's father, okay, they thought that he got departed, and both of these sisters, they have a greed of their father's money. They are the characters. Victoria, she is their daughter.